Hello, my friends. Welcome to an especially remarkable episode of the Party Nerds Podcast. We are coming to you live from a triple secret location high in the Hollywoodland Hills area of Los Angeles, California. I'm Richard Gabai with my partner in crime, Robert Carradine, and today we are joined by amazing star of the big, small screen, and I'm thinking stage as well, the legendary Sean Gunn.
Hello. You're right to applaud. Thank you.
We are, and I actually, first thing I want to do is thank you, because when my fresh off the boat, green card marriage French wife, still likes me, was expecting our first child. Mm-hmm. English was not her first language, which is why she found me charming.
Right.
She basically perfected her English and got to understand American humor and American culture, largely through the Gilmore Girls.
Wow.
Right.
I'll applaud that. That's great. That's the show that won't die. It's been around for it's nuts. Started doing that show in 2000. Did it for 7 years, and it's still, I'll meet 7-year-old, 8-year-old girls who it's their favorite show because of Second Life for things like Netflix and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers. It blows my mind.
Kirk Gleason is a brand.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know what that says about me that's the character I'm associated with, but the grown man who lives in his mom's basement and is essentially a man-child. He's essentially a 10-year-old living in a grown-up's body. That's the most comfortable role I've ever played. So,
As old as I am, I'm too young to have watched The Tonight Show with Jack Parr, but my dad used to tell me people just come and they would just hang out. Mm-hmm. And then you felt like after you watched the show, you felt like you knew the person. So millions of people everywhere, that's really how they got to know you, right?
yeah.
So how did Sean Gunn get to that role and get to that point in life?
It's like I'd been acting my whole life. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, youngest of 6, and always wanted to be an actor, almost maniacally so. I was like, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be an actor. Did plays in high school, but I was in Missouri and ended up auditioning for and going to the Goodman School of Drama in Chicago. So I went and studied theater in Chicago. And when you're a young actor, you really have this idea that I can do anything. Can whatever.
I'm bulletproof.
Whatever. Yeah. I'll do Shakespeare. I can do. Just throw it at me and I can do it. And so I kind of had that idea. Started working a little bit in Chicago. Did commercials and stuff. Moved to LA and started auditioning for TV series, and just became this comedy guy. So I had a specialty where I would take 1 or 2 lines and make them funny. And that was I started doing sitcoms and stuff like that. And then I ended up on this show, Gilmore Girls, did 1 episode, thought it was going to be gone forever. I played the role of the DSL installer on the show, right?
Right.
Which ages me and all of us.
What's a DSL? Gotcha.
Yeah, right. And so that was 25 years ago, and I played this character, did 1 episode, and then as the story goes, a couple episodes later, the creator of the show had a new character that was a delivery guy delivering swans to a wedding.
Right.
And
I love that clip.
And they started to audition some new people, and she didn't like anybody, and she said to the casting directors, "Get me a guy like that guy who played the DSL installer." And one of the casting directors, bless her heart, Jamie Rudofsky, said, "Why don't you just hire that same guy again?" And so she started asking me back. And from that point on, whenever they had just a couple of lines of a character popping up in the town, because she was trying to build this quirky town. So whenever they would go somewhere new and they just needed somebody to pop in for a few seconds of comic relief, they kept hiring me to come in and do the little roles. And I kept thinking that eventually this joke's gonna wear thin and they're gonna stop hiring me. But there was a full season of it, and then a second season, and then I started to like audition for other stuff, and they made me a regular in season 3, and I ended up doing the show for 7 years.
So in the first couple of seasons, it wasn't like, oh, the DSL guy's bringing us our swans or whatever.
No,
It was never connected?
No, you know what's funny is I didn't know, because back then, like now, they'll write a whole season of television before they shoot it.
Right.
But then it was like episode to episode, and the show hadn't even premiered yet. So I didn't know what the bit was. I didn't know if I was playing the same character or if I was like a shadow of the same character.
Right.
And I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to get fired.
Exactly. No, don't ask, don't tell.
So I just like show up and do my thing. And so in the first few episodes, I thought I was playing this different character. And then eventually they gave me a name and I became part of like the fabric of the town. I became the guy who like had a million jobs and worked everywhere.
Right, which they had just seen.
Yes.
Right.
But I didn't know when I started that that's where it was going.
Right, wow, what a trip, man.
Yeah, and it was wild.
It sounds like it's one of my favorite quotes that I don't know if he invented it, but the great director and cinematography for Michael Goy said to me, who shot one of my movies early on, it's all about the illusion of intention. Like the idea that wasn't planned blows my mind. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because it's such a thing.
Right.
They want to create a quirky world. I mean, you just keep showing up.
Yeah.
It's the idea that wasn't their idea.
Yeah, it was.
Conversely, I did an NYPD Blue. You can't come back. If you've been on the show, you can't come back.
Right. Yeah. No, well, if it wouldn't have been that, and it wouldn't have been that, we want to create a quirky world. And
Got it.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'll send you a link to just a reel where you see him like.
I would love to see it.
I don't know how many appearances you made,
But you're right about that. In that the second episode I did,
Yeah.
they were like, "Hey, they're hiring you again." I was like, "What? I already did that show."
Yeah.
Like, how could they possibly be hiring me again?
Right, well, it's a quirky world.
Yeah. Now it's out there, and the other funny thing about the show is that it was a modest hit when it was on. Like, it did fine. It was on the CW. It did well enough to get picked up to keep
7 years,
going.
right? 7 or 8 years.
Yes. But it was never like part of the zeitgeist. It was never part of like the conversation. It wasn't a sexy show for people in television. Then it started to get this second life on DVD when DVD sales when the show ended. And then when it came out on Netflix, it exploded. And so then in 2013, 14, 15, years after the show had been on, they released the whole series on Netflix, and it became, and I think to this day still is, one of the most popular shows to ever be on Netflix. So it's like,
That's amazing.
Yes.
That got to grow like that.
yeah, yeah,
And I could looking at the dates, I could see that my wife watched it first run, and then my girls must have watched it on Netflix.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But going back earlier in your career, I hope you don't mind.
No.
I see that you were in Tromeo and Juliet, and
Yeah.
I hung out with the guys from Troma a little bit. Before we started the show, I was telling you about this wacky movie I made, Assault of the Party Nerds, and they really wanted to be the distributor of it. And then when I made the second one, we had a meeting at the Cannes Film Festival. You think it's all about high-level movies, but boy, did Lloyd Kaufman want Assault of the Party Nerds 2, the heavy-petting detective. So Tromeo and Juliet is one of those cult movies.
Yeah, that was my first movie, and Lloyd is still a friend to this day. My brother James, who I've worked with a lot and is, had this great career, was friends with Lloyd and was hired to and wrote that movie Tromeo and Juliet. My brother James.
Oh wow!
So yeah, and I was still in acting school when I did that movie. I went and did it in the summertime when I was
Was it in New York? Where did they do that?
Yeah, in New York.
And did they make you audition, or did you get the offer?
No, that one I got the offer.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I got paid $100.
All right.
Not even a day for the movie.
I was about to say, Bob.
Yeah.
If somebody looks at the writer's brother in acting school and you'll
Yeah.
do the movie for Troma,
Here's
Yeah.
$100.
100, yeah.
Yeah. I drove a hard bargain. I think they offered 50, and I really.
You doubled it.
At
Yeah.
least $100. But now I imagine if you make personal appearances, there's probably people that bring that VHS to you.
There's usually one. Like every convention I do, there's usually like one Tromeo fan shows up at my table.
And another connection I found, and my great research team of my kids found out that your wife and I were in the same movie.
Which one?
Chris Ray's Bobby Ray Schaefer starring Dick Dixter.
Yeah. Another classic.
Well, yeah, I play like a studio executive, and they interview me about this horrible director, and I said, "Oh, he's horrible."
That's so funny. She'll love that.
Yeah,
It was before I met her. It was before I had met my wife.
Had you seen it? You married her? No.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
No, it's actually, you know what? And maybe not so much in a simple, like Bobby Ray Schaefer, who is Vance Refrigeration on The Office.
Right.
He stars in the film, and it was kind of, he wrote it, and it was his opus. And it's not perfect, but it's really cool. It's really great. And when somebody puts their heart and soul into something, inevitably, there's something really good about it. He plays a drunk loser director. And it's, it's painful, it's funny, and it has a lot going on, and he put together a good cast, and I'm glad he's glad he did it. And so, and you've been, you work on all aspects of the business. You've been like the motion capture guy for your brother. You've been in those huge movies.
Yeah. Well, it's the coolest thing, I think, is doing all of it, doing I'll do movies with a budget of $50,000 or $100,000 back to back with a movie with a $250 million, and I try to keep doing that. Like I like to just sort of go. I like going where the work is, and I like figuring it out. It's always a puzzle. Telling a great story, making it good within the tools that you're given to make it good is always there's a trick to it, right? And so I do what I can. I'm doing voiceover. I'm doing animation. I still do some like motion capture stuff, but I like having my face on camera when I can.
Well, the whole thing about the $100,000 budget. $250 million, $100,000 budget. Sounds like you like the situation where you're completely stressed out.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I've never, the biggest film I've ever worked on was like a $9 million budget. Mm-hmm. And my wife, son, and I last week went and saw Superman. And no matter how much money you have, to me, that's harder. That looked harder than making a $50,000 movie. I can't even comprehend how you make a film like that.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to figure out where do the actors stop and where's the computers kick in, and how long was a shoot like that?
Those are movie like that are usually like 6-7 months for just principal photography.
6 or 7 months?
Yeah. And I was thinking also, like, I don't know, maybe you got the inside, and like, you didn't have you have like a small role in the movie.
Yeah.
A role in the movie, but
2
like
seconds.
You have to be there for a month anyway because they have no idea.
Not for that, I didn't. They sort of worked that out. I had to do the because that character, it's like an intro. I play this character Maxwell Lord, and he's introduced in Superman, but we're also going to see him in further incarnations of the DC universe. And so I shot my first 2 pieces of it, which were that one day on Superman, and then also one day on Peacemaker season 2, which I think comes out today.
Wow.
I know I should plug that, but like it's
You just did.
yeah. And those come out, and we shot those back to back. So I was only there for a couple of days. I did a day on Superman, the day on Peacemaker. And
I had a friend that was in one of those Godzilla movies, who didn't have a really big part, but like they were on the movie for 6 months.
Wow.
And they shot like 4 days, but they're like being held.
that totally happens. That's particularly if you're, depending on where you are in
the puzzle.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's still people who will work 5, whatever.
Well, you remember that movie Heaven's Gate, Michael Cimino?
Oh my God, yeah.
The whole cast went to the set every day. The whole cast got in makeup and wardrobe, even if they weren't on the call sheet. They all had to go there to be available in case Michael wanted to use them. And that spread out to,
Right.
7 or 8 months.
No wonder that movie lost a
Oh,
fortune.
man.
Right.
Just a quick aside. He had a field that was on his land, which was near the location, and he had it plowed and sown with grass. 100 acres of grass.
Wow.
Yeah, charged it to the film.
Both you, Bobby, and you, Sean, had viral moments during the strike.
Oh, really? You had a
Yeah.
viral moment?
I did, yeah.
What was your viral moment?
I got real angry on the picket line, and
And got filmed?
yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking to the press. It was my first day on the picket line. I was talking to the press, and it was funny because we'd been driving down from Ventura to Hollywood, and my wife and I were talking the whole way there, and we were like on one. We were like, I think blah blah blah, and I'm all pissed off. And then I show up to the picket line, and immediately someone's like, "Hey, can we grab you for an interview?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can grab me for an interview." and then I ended up kind of out there. Look, my basic point of view, and I stick by this. Like, I'm not trying to make enemies in the entertainment industry, but I do think that there's the idea of wealth discrepancy. The people at the top, CEOs and that, making all this money while it doesn't filter down, and we make less and less, and our healthcare gets harder to come by, and all these things. I just think that there's a moral aspect to that. Even if you can make that much money, is it okay to do so? And the idea that there is a moral aspect to sharing the wealth.
They're bereft of morality. Never forget that. They don't care.
Yeah. Well,
Those
don't
guys at the tippy top.
Right, but, well, we say the same about the actors at the tippy top.
Well, I thought we were including the actors.
Like, we should, right?
it's true.
Yeah, like
It's
the
absolutely
$20 million.
It's absolutely true. I was just talking about this recently, that all of the, and I know a lot of them. There's a lot of great people, so I'm not disparaging them as people. But once you get to a certain level, you don't need the union anymore. The A-list actors don't. The union isn't really helping them, and I think that's a little bit of a problem. I think that it's one thing if I were on the board at SAG, I'd be like, one of the things I would work towards is building some kind of a bridge between the union and the A-list actors, and making them understand that they need the union in addition to the union needing them. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. But getting back to...
No, but you're a viral
I know,
moment.
we were no politics
that
at that.
isn't.
That's
just,
true. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just,
Oh, my viral moment?
That's it.
Yeah, what was
his
yours?
viral moments, great.
I found a residual check in my stash of don't throw these out. $0.00 from Disney.
For Lizzie McGuire. It was
So-
000.
So I put it on Instagram, and it got picked up. Jamie Lee Curtis saw it. She put it on her feed.
But what did she say?
What did she say?
Jamie Lee Curtis said, "My first love, Bobby Carradine, posted this." She did.
That's right. She did say that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, because of her, it went to 21 million views.
Wow.
I know. I was blown away.
But I mean, we've all
That's
gotten
awesome.
ones in the sense, but I didn't know that it was even possible.
I think the lowest I ever got was maybe 10 cents.
Oh, you're down there.
But,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also, there was a camera crew out there, as you know, and
Bobby and I were out there a bunch of times by Warner Brothers.
well, some camera
I don't want to
crew
say it was fun, but it kind of started to be fun.
was like a party.
Yeah.
I started getting these requests. So like I did that thing. It went, a bunch of people were sharing it on TikTok and stuff. And then I got requests from like CNN, the Canadian like news
To do interviews?
channel. Yeah, I went on,
That's cool.
did a bunch of stuff. But it's a little scary because it's like, I don't want to, like
You don't want to bite the hand that's feeding you?
it's true.
Yeah.
It's like you want to do both. You want to stick up for what you believe. You want to like be able to sleep at night and think that you did the right thing and whatever. But I also like I don't want to be famous for being Sean Gunn. I want to be famous for the roles that I play and the characters that I play. And I don't like.
What you don't want to be famous for is that list that's got all the names on it that goes
Hell
Sean
yeah.
Gunn.
Yep, exactly. We were talking about Netflix sort of exploding the Gilmore Girls and it becoming this massive hit. But like I don't think I'm being, I don't think it's like crazy to say that we were not fairly compensated for that,
Right.
And I still believe that. And I think even if I had the president of Netflix here, I'd be like, come on, you can admit to me person to person that like we were not adequately compensated for what you got in return for this.
And they're making money hand over fist.
Of course.
Yeah, and that's it's completely challenging because the president of Netflix says, well, look, we paid the people that owned your show this much to license it.
Right.
Talk to them, and they say, well, we honored the contract.
Nobody did anything
right.
illegal.
Right. So
everybody was
it's about
everything
what
they
could be
did was
better.
legal, but was it fair? And that was what I was trying to say is that like just because what you did was legal doesn't mean it was fair, and do you have no relationship to wanting to do what's fair? I should
Yeah,
shut up.
they
I get people
don't.
tell me to keep my mouth shut.
And I think it's real because my brother, who's not working with it much, we started out together. My brother I made you don't know much about me, but I made a bunch of little independent films, and my brother would be like we'd call him a line producer, but we weren't a big enough crew to call it a line producer. But he brought some donuts and he held the checkbook, and so you have an amazing relationship with your brother. Mm-hmm. And is that from day one? And what's the story of that? Because that's really cool.
Yeah, look, there's 6 of us in my family. I'm the youngest and he's the oldest. So we have 4 siblings in between us. But we were Irish Catholic. He's also less than 8 years older than me. So we had,
Right.
like, my mom had 6 kids in
A short amount
just
of time.
under 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I know, it's nuts. And we're actually, all 6 of us are close in my family. And he and I just have jobs that fit together really well. I think if we could all work together on various projects, we would. And he has worked with some of my other brothers in various things, and I have too. But for the most part, I'm a performer. He's a writer director. So when we can work on stuff together, we do.
Right.
And it's been fortunate for me that I had my own career going, was on Gilmore Girls, was doing my own thing. He was also writing and doing stuff. He had done Tromeo.
Right.
And then he wrote Scooby-Doo and wrote the Dawn of the Dead remake and stuff. And then he got Guardians, and his career really took off. And so we still work together when we can. And so I've gotten a lot of residual benefit from that.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we like working together. I think he knows better than anybody what I'm good at, and so we talk about, hey, how can I be helpful to this project? I don't think he's ever just shoehorning me into whatever he's making. It's
Of course
more
not. And I don't think that would ever be the perception because
Yeah.
you're a freaking talented guy. He's.
unless you're a troll on the internet, and then you're like,
Yeah,
Well, you don't have to.
Exactly.
You don't have to talk to
Brother
me
knows.
about trolls on the internet because
Yeah.
I've had a 35 years career being just one notch above complete obscurity. So I basically that's all I get.
it's a beautiful notch, though, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
I'm
really-
right there.
Yeah.
I'm always on the way up. I'm
Yeah.
always on the way up. And Bobby, so you can relate to the whole brothers thing. I mean,
Well, that's the thing, there is an article that came out in the Hollywood Reporter, and it's talking about brothers in the profession. And they said, you want David Carradine, you'll take Keith Carradine, you get Robert Carradine. So I thought that was really funny.
Oh my God. Delightful.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, those Hollywood Reporter people.
we've talked about it quite a bit on this, but Bobby's first job was starring in a movie with John Wayne, and he didn't want to do it.
Well, I got to qualify that because my brother David said, listen, I'm not going to go in for the the bad guy role that Bruce Dern did. He says, I don't want to be the guy that shoots John Wayne in the back. But, this is a bunch of boys. You might want to go meet these people. I go, nah, that's okay. I didn't want to go on a meeting. He says, well, you got everything to gain and nothing to lose. And I went, everything to gain, nothing to lose. Yeah, okay, fuck it. I'll go in.
You only lost one thing.
What'd I get?
You lost one thing. Your high school diploma.
I didn't lose it. Oh, right. I made a deal with my American history teacher that I told him I had to go on location.
He was going to Hollywood High. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, I'm going on location. This is when I think I'm going to get back. He says, okay, if you get back before we shut down school, okay, and you pass the final, I'll pass you. I missed it by 3 days.
Wow.
I know. So here I am.
We started a whole phone call. I called Miriam did, my daughter did some research. We're like, he's starred in tons of movies. He has a 50, 60-year career in Hollywood. Can you give him an honorary diploma? Because it means something to him. And they said no. Now, in many states, they're now graduating kids from high school, unfortunately, that can't read or write. That's not a joke. It's the truth. Robert Carradine, he cannot get an honorary. We know they have very high standards over there.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the other thing. When I was shooting Lizzie McGuire, I don't know if you know about that show. It was aimed at
I know the show, yeah.
tweens, okay?
Sure.
Yeah. And they had an on-set tutor. And I said to Hollywood High, I said, listen, because that's where the tutor came from Hollywood High. I said, listen, if I go study with the kids and I pass American history, you guys give me a diploma? And they went, no. I was going to do the work. I was going to go in between shots and go to school with the kids.
The LA Unified School District has the highest standards, I know, because my wife just resigned as an LAUSD teacher. Wow. Anyway.
I just thought it really would have been cool to have a Hollywood High diploma. I should Photoshop one.
I think now maybe you just flip it. And it's like, because it's kind of gangster to be like, I flunked out of Hollywood High.
I didn't flunk.
I know, but you
dropped out.
You could spin it that way. You could be like, yeah, you dropped out.
I dropped out of high school.
You turned them down.
Right.
Not the reverse.
You think you could make me learn American history?
Yeah.
No, sir.
I don't. Yeah.
George,
it's being rewritten as we speak anyway.
Yeah.
Sean, so this Marvel Cinematic Universe that you're blessed to be a part of, anything you want to tease our friends and fans with?
Well, I've now moved really from Marvel to DC.
To DC, right?
Yeah, because I was doing Marvel with the Guardians movies.
But yeah, the Superman and
for
DC
a long time, and now I'm playing this new character in the DC universe. So like I said earlier, I got Peacemaker season 2, which premieres today. Which is Thursday.
What channel is that on?
On HBO Max.
HBO Max, I have that.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Oh, yeah.
And it's awesome,
I'm going to put this on the list.
I mean that sincerely. That show is really great. I love season 1, and I've seen... I know a lot about the second season, but I've seen the first episode of the second season. It's really cool. Still have Creature Commandos on HBO Max, which even though it premiered last December, a lot of people are still discovering it, which is a cool thing about streaming. You can still shows continue to have a life, and I it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. That character is kind of moving forward and doing stuff, so I look forward to that. I have a horror movie that's about to hit the festival circuit. That's like an indie, low budget horror movie called Apopheniacs, which is cool And what do you got?
There's a note that they put here, Apopheniacs. So Paige Searcy, was in that film. So yeah, she starred in a TV movie I produced called The Good. No, she wasn't.
It was Mommy, I Didn't Do It.
Mommy, I Didn't Do It.
Oh yeah,
Mommy,
she's
I
great.
Didn't Do It.
She's really talented.
Yeah, she's great, and she. It's funny. I mentioned we had Patrick Fabian was a guest. He was in that film as well. So Bobby, put it on the list. Mommy, I Didn't Do It. Helen Slater. But Paige
Helen
Searcy,
Slater.
I was so happy to see that because I checked in on her IMDb. Like I try and keep track of people I've worked with a little bit. Happy to see that she's rocking.
Yeah, that movie's cool. It's a weird kind of high concept horror flick that's like, I think horror fans will love it. And I don't even know what else. I did some other indies. We'll see.
Yeah, but that sounds cool. What's the? Do you mind? Are you allowed? What's the pitch? That's quite a weird title. Interesting title.
Apopheniacs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's oh man, I forget what the
Apopheniacs.
They're like apples.
It's a play on words because it's I forget what I'll be prepared next time I do an interview.
No, but that's
about it.
okay.
About what that means. It's people who there's a real term for that.
Hey,
but I
look
think it's
it up.
also yeah, go ahead.
Look
There's
it up.
also a play on the app concept because it's a little bit of a
apps, yeah.
It's like a deep fake gone awry horror movie.
Deep fake gone awry. I want to see
May
that.
nobody
Yeah.
ever
Is that- is-
accuse
fake.
me of
Yeah,
being
is that a
deep
done deal?
fake gone awry.
Yeah, it's about to start. It's about to
put it
premiere
on the
at
list.
Fantastic Fest, or it's going to play at Fantastic Fest, and also at a festival in London. And it's
And this is a feature?
yeah, it's a horror
Is
horror
it
feature.
streaming yet?
No, it's not out there yet. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, there it is. It's
The
on
use
on
of
board
AI
there.
technology reaches its most violent.
Yeah, there you go.
The tendency to perceive meaningful connections between unrelated things or random events. And you know what? We've done a great job of that today. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another astounding episode of the Party Nerds Popcatcher. Pop.
Start over.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a very special episode of the Party Nerds Pop Culture Podcast. I'm Richard Gabai, Robert Carradine, the legendary Sean Gunn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.